Gurmagat Corlick, agus Wallam Wickets Horton Con Horlick Kama, Stock Mo, over around the high, and Mir Sharon Glor, agus Wickeston Arava Lynn, just coming over a flay. As you noted, Chairperson, I wish to, I suppose, bring a number of issues to the fore that arise from this report that was published last week by the Department of Transport, the Economic Cost of Congestion in the Regional Cities 2022-2040. And I understand that this follows a similar study that was done for the Greater Dublin area last year. There are some issues that arise from the report that I do feel warrant further reflection on future national transport policy, but I will be confining much of my comment to the report as it refers to Galway. And the first point I want to make is that I want to dispel an inference that has been put forth by some since the publication of the report that it claims that Galway won't benefit from the development of the proposed ring road. And I want to dispel that because the report clearly says differently. Galway City Ring Road is currently undergoing its second assessment by An Bord Pleanála. The first assessment, it was accepted by An Bord Pleanála, the charge that they hadn't adhered to the regulatory obligations in the assessment process, which was very regretful, despite them approving the planning for the road. The Galway Road Project Office have since furnished An Bord Pleanála with very thorough further information as part of the current assessment process. And I hope An Bord Pleanála will undertake the assessment carefully, prudently, but quickly. I think it's really important for the city and for the region that we get a quick decision on this, and I would be very hopeful that we will get a positive decision. But outside of that, this report highlights that the cost of congestion in Galway will reach a peak in 2030, but it will fall marginally in 2040 or towards 2040, and it will fall due to the assumption in the report that the Galway City Ring Road will be operational after 2030. It must also be borne in mind that the report assumes the increasing population and economic activity that the city will experience in accordance with the National Planning Framework towards 2040. So part of what the report is saying is the growth that's expected within Galway City is one of the reasons that we can or will experience future costs associated with congestion, but that the development of the ring road will alleviate that marginally, but unfortunately the development of the ring road alone, and this won't be news either to anybody who has knowledge of Galway and of our transport strategy, the ring road alone will not be sufficient in terms to offset the increase in congestion, and that further interventions are required. And I think, Minister, that's the crucial part here. I think it would be horrific for Galway commuters to hear that not alone are our current plans going to alleviate the traffic congestion in the city, but the traffic problems in Galway could get worse because we have an insufficiency in the interventions that we are proposing. And I raised the issue last week with the Taoiseach that the NTA had advised me that they had paused, I suppose, the development of a new transport strategy for Galway. Since that, the NTA have provided me with updated information that they are still progressing many of the projects included in the Galway Transport Strategy from 2016. But again, this report highlights that those interventions will not be sufficient to alleviate the traffic congestions that Galway suffers, and that if we're not, and if we cannot and don't increase the level of interventions and invest further, that we will see traffic concerns in Galway unfortunately getting worse. And such interventions, Minister, are not they're not rocket science per se. Some of them are already alluded to in many national and local reports, such as the doubling of the rail track to Athenry, developing the Western Rail Corridor between Tuam and Athenry, implementing the new bus network for the city and implementing it at the earliest opportunity, bringing the park and ride and bus priority measures to fruition in the shortest possible time frame, and, Minister, to progress a route option study for light rail in the city. A report last October highlighted that light rail is a feasibility for Galway, or there is a feasibility of light rail, but we need now to progress that to a route options assessment.